Hi everyone. I'm here today with Yuji Abe of Northwest College up in Edmonton. Hi Yuji.
Good morning, Glenn.
Thanks for joining us today. This is part of some pre-conference interviews we're doing just to give people a taste of what's going to happen at the conference. My name is Glenn Cochran. I'm the conference co-chair along with Chris Wharton. And Yuji's going to talk a bit about his presentation today. He's actually giving two presentations. One is a Thursday session that you have to sign up for. Today we're going to talk about his regular session presentation. Yuji, what's the title and briefly what's it about?
Yes, so Thursday session, the title is Integrating Intercultural Communicative Competence into Curriculum. So this was a research project funded by TESL or hosted by TESL, and the funding came from our provincial government. So we wanted to find out what kind of things ESL teachers do, and also their ESL coordinators think their teachers do in terms of teaching intercultural or cultural information in their classes.
Great, sounds good. Can you give us a preview or a hint of maybe one or two things that you found really interesting about that?
Um, yes, so we found there are some perception gaps between coordinators and instructors in terms of what they do or what they think is important. So talking about that itself
Mm,
is interesting,
no,
I think.
good. And that's the Thursday session. So
Right.
your regular session on either the Friday or Saturday, what's the title and what's that about?
Yes, this one is called Free Online Simulation Activities for Workplace Language Use. So we use some videos
Mhm.
that one of my colleagues created using critical incidents, so real stories that we got from real workplaces. And using that, we created this online choose your own adventure type activities where you're in certain situations that involves your language and cultural understanding, such as feedback or suggestions from your supervisors. And in that moment, you have to use your critical thinking skills to respond. And based on your decision, there is a consequence that you have to deal with. So through that kind of experience, you will learn um, some skills that you might need to integrate into the Canadian workplace.
That sounds fascinating. That's a great idea. What did you find either through the research as you were doing, students were completing the program?
Mm,
Maybe one or two points that you found fascinating.
right. Um, I mean, there are a couple of HR related magazines, and they say
Yeah.
um, that key hiring locations is Alberta.
Hmm.
So, in those situations, demonstrating your skills, communication skills, and demonstrating your understanding of Canadian culture is extremely important. Um, but
Mm,
that's not always easy. So, by using this kind of online learning activities, in kind of a safe environment, you can
right.
kind of make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Whereas, in the real world, once you make a mistake, then you get laid off and the consequence
Yeah.
is not easy to take on. So,
Yeah, that safe environment sounds like it's so important just to have a place that you can practice where
mhm,
normally you wouldn't have that type of place.
right.
Yeah. Um, in terms of, I mean, speaking a bit more about newcomers, a lot of people, especially out west in BC and Alberta, are working with newcomers to Canada. What
Mhm,
kind of skills have you found, or have you found through this project that newcomers to Alberta need the most?
mhm. Yeah, so like I mentioned a little bit, I guess cultural understanding and also demonstrating their understanding through their
Hmm.
language and behavior. I think that's really important. Through the research project that I'm going to talk about on Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of learners think that, language is important. So vocab and grammar, they want to master those things, and, they might think those are the key to success. And a lot of ESL teachers seem to, cater to that kind of needs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but oftentimes, when they get laid off or, don't get hired in job interviews and all that, it's often the behaviors that demonstrate, and that doesn't really meet what employers are looking for.
Mm, that's
Um,
great. Well, it sounds like a great presentation. What else are you looking forward to out in Lake Louise? Other presentations or the lineup that we have, if you've had a chance to look at it.
yes, I had a chance to look at the list, and you guys did an awesome job. So it's really hard to choose my favorite.
Hmm.
But in even in my area of intercultural stuff, there's more than 10 presentations, so I'm
Hmm.
really excited.
Yeah, it's true. We had a lot of presentations that were submitted for intercultural communication. Even the Thursday,
Hmm.
there's a couple, and it seems to be a pretty popular topic this year. So
Hmm.
it's great to have you a part of
Yeah.
that, and we'll see you out in Lake Louise. Thanks, Yuji.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, thank you.